Hey guys, has this lockdown made you lose track of your fitness goals? Are you starting your resolution for 2021 and you want to lose weight but need some help? Introducing my affordable workout plans for men and women. With packages starting at $5, this offer can't be beat. Go to radicallatino.com to find out more. Hey guys, do you have a product you want more eyes on? Advertise with the Radical Latino Show with over 10K podcast downloads and the number 25 spot on the 55 All Latin podcast list. You'll want your product heard on everyone's phones and cars. Go to radicallatino.com/contacts and start advertising today.
Playing the Radical Latino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air for New York's very own.
Latino is taking you to another level.
I think there's more radicals than Steve-O. Radical Latino, you're buffing it. The radical point of views, I think his views are actually more dangerous.
Hear that? It's like the pulse of the street, a hole of the chest.
Yo, what up my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino, aka number 17 on All Latin Podcasts, aka Mr. Unsuable for the 38th week running. And trust me, this intro will change with that number 17 spot, people. My intro will change. For those who don't know and for those who are not following my Instagram, I don't know what you guys are doing, but follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter. But I'm mostly more active on Instagram. I gotta be more active on Twitter, let's be real. At the same name, radical_Latino_. Follow your boy. Follow your boy there. The reason why is because your boy made the number 24 spot for all Bronx influencers, podcasters, and YouTubers. Yes, your boy made the number 24 spot. Now, mind you, this is the 24 spot out of 40. So I made it not even I made it partially halfway. So shout out to y'all. Don't even give me a shout out to me. This would not be possible if it wasn't for y'all. So I want to give a huge shout out to you guys. You guys are the reason why this is what it is. You guys are the reason why I am getting the spots that I'm getting, and the reason why colleges are calling me up for lectures, for appearances, and all this other stuff. So really thank you. I would not have done it without you guys, and you guys are the reason why this Black and Latin unity is being felt, is being praised, is being done, and is being shared out here. So I want to give a huge shout out to you guys. Now, also for the people in New York, please, we can breathe a little easier. No pun intended, but we could breathe a little easier because the COVID-19 mass restrictions are going down. So I want to give a huge shout out to people up in New York. Yes, our thing is coming down. If you're fully vaccinated, you're able to just walk freely and everything's all good. July 1st, so we got one more month, a month and a week for everything to fully open. So big shout out to you guys, big shout out to y'all. For indoor gyms, the same thing, fully vaccinated, no mask. So I want to give a huge shout out to everybody up in the New York area. You know what I'm saying? Some quick announcements. This week, go pay attention to my YouTube channel because a couple of things is going to be dropping. All right. My shirt merch store will be dropping on the same day that I go live for my face reveal. I put the reminder and I put the live for a Sunday. In reality, I'm doing it for a Saturday. So so I'm gonna either do it on a Saturday or Sunday. So either one, I gotta make up my mind. But that is the same day that my merch store will be dropping. I got the same designs that were popular, the Latin Unity and the Black and Latin Unity ones, and a whole bunch of new designs that I got up in there. Trust me, you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna dig it. You guys are going to want to cop. Again, this is a summer drop. So it's only going to be for the summer. Start of June all the way up to September, and that's it. Y'all won't get it no more. So last time, a bunch of y'all were like, yo, I'm waiting for my check, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for this and all that. Nah. And I still closed the store. I'm telling you, it's a summer drop. It's a summer drop. So go get ya joints now. I'm telling you. And you guys will not regret it. Any other designs that you want me to put up, let me know. Because it's only going to be for 3 months. I'm telling y'all, it's only going to be for 3 months. That's it. It's a summer drop, so I'm just letting y'all know. You know what I'm saying? But also, I am going to be having my face reveal. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of people out here, show your face. Show your face. And all this other stuff. The only people that see my face is people who I trust, who I'm really down with, who I'm really cool with, and also people who paid me to do lectures. So everybody up in the college, you know, that subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, have seen how I look like already. So to them, I'm not a surprise. You know what I mean? To y'all, mostly I am. So go, if you guys wondered how I look like, go and stay tuned to my YouTube channel, and I will be doing my face reveal live from Puerto Rico. I'm gonna be out there in Puerto Rico handling some business, doing what I gotta do, and also some pleasure, some leisurely things, but it's mostly gonna be business. So I'm gonna be out there grinding, doing my thing, but it's basically gonna be beneficial for you guys. So definitely look out for that. Definitely stay tuned for all that. You know what I mean? Trust me, y'all not going to regret it. I already know the haters are going to be on one. You know what I'm saying? The haters are going to be definitely on one. So I already know what I'm looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? I already know what I'm looking forward to. Now there's been a couple of streams going in the past few days, and I just want to give my thoughts about it real quick. These streams, you know, shout out to the people doing the streams. It's all good and dandy. I just want to. I already made a video about it. If you guys want to go see it, go to my YouTube channel. I already made a video about it. But there's some more information now that I wasn't privy to. I wasn't aware about it. For those who don't know, this dude named Creyente got exposed for being somewhat a fake Latino or whatever the case is. Some people say he's Jamaican. Some people say that no, he's just lying or what type of Latino he is. To be honest with you, I would not know why you would lie about something like that, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, if he is not of Latin lineage, you know what I'm saying? It just feels pretty weird to lie about that. But you know, there must be an identity crisis there somewhere. you know, I am not the emperor to say who's a Latino or not, but due to the criteria, no, homie, you can't be Latino if you don't have the lineage. You know, I'm not over here giving roots and spirits and all this other bullshit, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to talk about that later. But if he is Latino, obviously because of his name, you know, if he is, then he is. I just don't know why you would lie about what type of Latino you are. I don't know. But if he is, he is. Who cares? You know, who cares? Let's just embrace him and get to know him a little bit more, because obviously, you know, people are attacking him on something that we really don't know the full story of. Now, shout out to Fighter. Shout out to Fighter. He put out a video today about you know, the video that I put out, me and Truth Teacher put out. It was actually pretty funny. He said he's gonna have a live stream on it tomorrow, the next day, or whatever the case is. I don't know. I'm recording this on Monday. I'm recording this basically Monday night, Tuesday morning. So yeah, this comes out Wednesday. So whatever happens there happens. You know what I mean? But Fighter puts out a video of my response and stuff. I'm not gonna respond to it. I found the video very hilarious, extremely funny. Something I don't understand, calling me the fat bastard of Rashiki or whatever. I just don't get it, because people seen how my body is, so I just don't understand that I don't know why that narrative is still out there, but it is what it is. Am I a little over? Yeah, I'm 50 pounds over. I'm not gonna lie. I am. My good weight is 200. You know what I'm saying? Rock solid. You know what I'm saying? Stocky. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 50 pounds over. I've been trying to lose them 50 pounds. It's been hard as shit. But I haven't been dedicating myself to the gym. So that's the thing. I've been slacking. I'm like, yeah, whatever. When I come back from Puerto Rico, that's when I'll get serious on it. But yeah, I'm 50 pounds over. That ain't nothing, you know. I got a little peepa, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But apparently that's a running joke, so I let it happen. I let it slide. I play along with it because it's actually kind of funny. But the thing is, I just don't understand. One thing that Fighter says is that, you know, he's not weak-minded, he's a strong man, and he got thick skin. If that's the case, why respond? That's all I'm saying. Why respond? I believe that Fighter pretends that he has thick skin. In reality, he doesn't. Look how easy it is for all aboard to get in his feelings. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Look how easy it is for all aboard to get him out of character. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have thick skin, bro. Don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Don't pretend something you don't have. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it real, bro. Let's keep it. You don't have thick skin. The thing is, you can't. For somebody who has thick skin, they could take jokes. They could do whatever. You know, they don't have to go to personals. Once you go into personals, that actually tells you that you don't have thick skin whatsoever. So it just, I don't know, just confusing. But it is what it is. Fighter's still my dude. I don't got no personal issues with him. You know, this is YouTube shit. I don't care. This is YouTube stuff. The only real person on YouTube that I got issues with and real beef with is Rancho. That's the only one, and this is making it known. I'm telling y'all right now. Outside of that, I don't got no beef with nobody. I don't got no personal issues with nobody. I don't care. Chivo, I don't care. I'm saying, Kim, I don't care. Kim looks like a Mexican worm, bro. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Arpanaka, he lives in a truck. If I ever see him in real life, I'm not gonna care. I don't have issues with homeless people. You know what I'm saying? Arpanaka's a bum. He got homeless dreads. You seen him lately? My man's looking bad. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to look more like a homeless person every day. I feel, every time I watch one of his videos, I throw change at the screen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? all I'm saying, let's talk about priorities, Art. Let's talk about priorities. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about priorities. You know, if you're making that much money, homie, I don't want to see you with I don't want to even hear a motor behind you, bro. Go into a day, yo, be in a room, bro. Come on, son. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But I don't got beef. The only real person I got beef is with Rancho, and that's because it changed. Because I already saw he is a white supremacist hands down. You know what I'm saying? He is a white supremacist hands down. Other than that, I got real beef in the streets. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of people up in that black list. You know what I mean? But YouTube, I don't got no beef with nobody except for Rancho. That's the only one I really got beef with. You know what I'm saying? It's on site if I ever see it. But anyway, talking about Rancho, part of my video that went out was about Rancho, you know, because of his hypocrisy when it comes to Creyente. His hypocrisy when it comes to this person. According to him, he's been all over his, you know, little YouTube. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this or not. You know, Rancho, he buys his views, right? I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It's kind of funny. He buys his views. YouTube knows when you buy views. Some of them stay there, some of them get taken away. Look at some of his older material. Most of his views are like down to the 800s, 700s and stuff like that. 500. I'm telling you, he's buying views. It takes YouTube a while for it to, you know, they're not really good like Twitch. Twitch, they take the thumbs down, the fraudulent ones, they take them out really quickly, the fake views and stuff. But Rancho, he buys his views. There's a website where you can actually see how, you know, for people who buy views, you know, he's buying his views. The thing is, also you can see his podcast downloads. It doesn't match up. His view count for YouTube, subscriber count don't match up with his view count, and also his podcast downloads don't match up. So that's all I'm saying. My man's buying views. It is what it is. But Rancho's, ever since he came out, he's been saying anybody could be quote unquote Hispanic, right? And he gives a criteria like it's a gang or whatever. Now you come with somebody like Creyente who comes into the mix, you know, for the sake of argument, let's say he's lying, comes into the mix wanting to be Hispanic, but now Rancho just, you know, jumps out the window and says, nah, he's not. Like you're the emperor of who, you know what I'm saying? And mind you, Creyente meets all the criteria on his logic, on his philosophy, because this is all philosophy. This is all theory. This whole thing that Rancho does, it's not set in stone. This is something he just made up. You know what I'm saying? So you have somebody that actually comes with this type of stuff, right? But now he gets denied. Wow, that's crazy. I'm just saying, that's crazy. That doesn't add up to me, homie. You just contradicted your whole spiel. You know what I'm saying? Your whole thing, you just contradicted yourself. But it is what it is. So anybody sees Fighter live stream, I kind of go at him. You know, I say a couple of things. I don't regret that. It is what it is. People want to claim that I disrespect certain people's, you know, marriages. It is what, eat a dick. I don't care. Anyways, moving on to, that's basically everything I wanted to say. Moving on to this interview. It's from my homie Cuban Crisis. Homie reached out. Funny thing is, I've been following him on YouTube, and I've been seeing some of his videos on YouTube before he even reached out. He tuned into me. He started watching some of my vids, and he actually liked what he saw. He reached out, and me and him had a great build. We had a great build. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it. I liked where he was coming from. I liked how his mind was, and he was all about Black and Latin unity. And you already know that's part of my message. So shout out to him for coming in with that and having that type of stilo, you know what I'm saying? Because we need more people like this around. You know what I'm saying? We need more people with unity bones. The reason why is because unfortunately the coons and the haters are the loudest ones in the room. And people might get misconstrued with the whole, okay, the majority of the population is like this, when in reality that's not even the case. You know, just the coons and the racists and the trolls are the ones with megaphones, while we're out here actually doing real work, not caring about clout. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Without further ado, here is the interview with Cuban Crisis. I hope you guys enjoy. Yo, what up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. Now, you know I always bring you special guests. Come on, you know it's me, baby. You know what I mean? And today, it's no different. Today I got my man, my homie, Cuban Crisis. What's going on, bro?
Peace, bro. What's going on?
Chilling. Listen, thank you for having the time to chat and talk and actually build. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for having the time to do so.
No, thank you. I'm very honored to be on your platform.
Thank you. Shout out to you. Now Cuban Crisis. I'm gonna call you Cube for this interview. Cube. Now, real quick, because Cube he reached out to me, and me and him had a great build. I really appreciated it, and you were basically filling my my whole message about Black and Latin unity, right? For the people, just so they could know. Q, you down with this Black and brown unity stuff, and we had a great bill. So tell us a little bit more about it. Like, how did you come across me? And also, Black and brown unity. How did you come across the type of idea and the type of message that you wanted to put across?
Okay, so I came across you because I was saying to myself for a while, I'm like, there's no way I could be the only person that's pushing, the envelope for this type of thing. I was like, there's no way. And so I just started typing in things, and boom, I came across you, and I came across this other sister that's Mexican. She has a really good show.
Okay.
And as far as how I got all into this, I've been into this since I've been 14, and I'm 43. So basically, I'm a former member of the Universal Zulu Nation, and I had joined that when I was 14. I left it when I was 37. And so that is something in Zulu that is pushed, along with, at a young age, coming in contact with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the teachings of the 5% Nation, or the Nation of Gods of Earth. Both of those organizations, for example, push the envelope and accept the Black and the brown.
Okay.
So it's always just been something that I've been into. And what's odd is that in 2014, when I made my first appearance on internet, is when I first started reading in the comments things that were derogatory towards black and brown unity,
Yeah,
not
of
just
course, yeah.
by and it was shocking. It was very. I couldn't even. I couldn't grasp it. I'm like, I've never heard this. I've never heard nobody being against this.
Yeah, same
I
here,
just
same
never
here.
happened.
Yeah, same here.
And so since 2014 to now, I've heard, seen a whole bunch of different things, and so basically, it's fueled me. It's infuriating hearing and seeing all these negative comments.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's infuriated me. It's fueled me to further be persistent and to push the envelope for not just black and brown unity, but black, brown, and red unity. And the reason I emphasize that is because and I personally don't use the term Latino, Hispanic, Latinx,
Yeah.
Latin American, Latin.
Yeah.
So I'll make reference. I'll say so-called Latinos, so-called African Americans.
Okay.
That even with the so-called Native Americans, as so-called Latinos, we have indigenous in us. We have the African in us. And so our brothers and sisters here in this continent are extensions to our family. It's just our family went more south into South America, Central America, and then into the Caribbean. These are still our people here. So the Taino or the Arawak or the Carib or the Boricua is just so-called Native American as the Lenape, as the Cree, as the Mississippi. These are our people. There is no they see, the thing we have in common is we've all been bitten by the same snake. We can't forget that. We have the same common enemy. We have the same common problem. We have lost our languages, our religion, our culture, our names, our God.
Yeah.
We've lost all this. Whether you're the continental African that came to North America, or the continental African that went to England, to the continental African that resided and came to South Central America, or to the indigenous people. These aren't our names. These aren't our morals. These aren't our. This is not who we are as a people, and this is why we are in the condition that we are in, because we have lost the knowledge of ourselves.
Now, this is the thing I found that all this online bickering, that racism from, I'm not even gonna say racism, I'm gonna say prejudice from the Latin side to black folks, and prejudice from the black side to Latin folks, right? I only found this online. I've never met somebody like this face to face. Some of them I did find face to face in private. Had to check a couple of people. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, I haven't seen nobody like this face to face. Right? Majority of the times, right? Now, the thing is, I'm really feeling what you just said, that we come from the same cloth of enslavement, colonization and everything, and I totally 100% agree with that. The thing is, let me ask you, how is your message received? Because a lot of people don't really. I found it the times that I've been in this platform, I find a lot of people hate to even hear that, and they're really standoffish. So, have you found the same thing?
Absolutely. I've had people tell me that it's a waste of time. I've had people say that I waste my time. I've heard people tell me to keep going. You know, so I've heard both sides. I've met people face to face, people I don't know, to people that I know of that have their hang-ups with it. Some of them are legitimate hang-ups.
Yeah.
And the legitimate hang-ups, but the thing is that I look at it like, unless we are out here educating, are we trying to educate? Are we, by whatever means you're capable or able to educate? Because that's what this is how it has to start, is through education.
That's true.
You know,
That's
or
true.
I'll hear from the so-called African American community, you know, when our people get killed by the police, this, that, and the third, I don't see our people there, but we're there for y'all. I've heard that argument. Now, I have seen that at times, but what I personally see as that's an isolated incident. I think it depends on where you live. I think it depends on your geographical location where you live. A lot of times, what I hear is from the so-called African American community and even so-called Latinos. Of course, things are going to be different on the West Coast, Midwest, and down south compared to some place like New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Now, what I find is that these places are still segregated. What I find is that not only are they still segregated, but it is intentionally segregated, and it is segregated only in the black and brown and red community, as it's segregated in the prison industrial complex system.
Yeah.
If you've ever been locked up, it's segregation.
Yeah, facts.
And you hear people say, "Oh, you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side." That prison mentality leaks out into the streets, and the people on the streets who have no knowledge of self want to start to emulate that prison mentality, and you can see it. I'll give you an example. You remember when long white T-shirts were popular?
Yeah.
That came from the prison.
In the early 2000s.
Yes, that came from the prisons and the counties. Now, why is everybody out here wearing them? The only reason that they were worn in the beginning is because you had brothers that were Muslim, and they didn't have thobes, so they would wear extra big
I'm not
T-shirts.
I'm not gonna lie, fam. I had my extra long white tee with my Pele Peles and my Tims.
Oh, I did too.
Son, yo, I thought I was the freshest thing out, son. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, son. I thought I was the freshest thing out, bro.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, there's things that are set up in place, that have been set up in place intentionally and have been drawn out in a blueprint form style for these reasons. It's the same. There's nothing new under the sun. And when people say, "Oh, slavery's done with," oh, you keep talking about the past. You only hear that from the black and brown community.
Yeah.
You don't hear the Jewish community
talk about
saying, don't talk about the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's true.
They have holidays that is in commemoration of things they believe in, which kind of entail being oppressed.
Yeah, you're right.
Hanukkah, Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
These things are dealing with oppression.
Yeah.
They're
And the
commemorating,
thing
they're
is,
remembering.
nobody dare say, yo, why y'all complaining for to Jewish folks? You know what I mean? Nobody
That's
dare
right.
say that. But to black people, oh, get over it.
Yes. Get over it. How can you get over the most horrific atrocity that's ever occurred in the histories of mankind?
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than what happened in the African Holocaust. That was horrible. What happened? The ramifications of the Inquisition and the African Holocaust is still here. When I was in college, my major was African Studies, and my college professor used to say to us, there was two things he used to always say. He would begin the class, he would say, it was never about race. It was always about economic classism. What he meant by that is not that race doesn't matter. It's not that this social construct that was created named race does not exist. He's saying that the African Holocaust occurred not because of people's phenotypes and complexion, but because of economics. Cheap labor, free labor, exploitation. The same goes for the Inquisitions. Now, the other thing he would make that statement, and then he would say, what is the difference between now and the times of slavery? So he would give multiple examples. And one of the examples he gave, he said, what's the difference between a buck and a player? So the buck was a man that was physically dominant. It was one that was used, and I'm going to use the term because this is the term that they called themselves, the white man. They called themselves crackers. They're the ones who came up with that word because they cracked the whip. And that's where that comes from. Yes.
Oh, I thought it was because they were white. I thought because they were white,
No.
just like you know what I mean?
Because it was a terms of endearment amongst slaveholders because they cracked the whip and they say cracker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
I didn't know that word.
Yes, you can look this up. And this quote unquote buck would be used to impregnate women. Why? Because that child now became an economic commodity for the purposes of raising that child into slavery. Because that was a body used to produce labor, whether it was cotton, indigo, tobacco, sugarcane, whatever it was, that made money for the slave master. So that child was precious. That buck was precious. That woman that could produce those young was precious to them. That was their money. That man would then be placed and taken to different slave plantations, never there to be with the woman, never there to raise the child, never there to be a father figure. So what is the difference between a buck and a player? The player goes out, impregnates the woman, disrespects the woman, isn't there for his responsibilities because why? Subconsciously, he has been indoctrinated to be this way and think that this is how you are towards women. If we have the issues of alcoholism and drug abuse and pedophilia and physical abuse and all these things in our families that black and brown people love to sweep beneath the rug. It's a secret. Uncle Philip, Uncle Caesar is the pedophile, and he's sitting there with the family. Nobody says nothing. I just found out recently a very close friend of mine who's like my brother. He's a Boricua. never knew that his cousin molested him. And have
Wow.
seen this man for years.
Wow.
And would see him at family gatherings, but nobody talks about it.
Wow.
Now, if all that goes on, and then we have a thing called systematic racism and systematic sexism, how can that not be the same equivalent of what people went through in the times of the Inquisitions and African Holocaust?
Yeah.
Through the Industrial Revolution, all the different stages in this country, Jim Crow, all these different things,
Yeah.
and then boom, leads up to today. This country's never addressed slavery.
Yeah. You're right.
Puerto Rico's never addressed. They still call themselves the name that the oppressor called it because they saw the riches in the water. Puerto Rico was initially going to be called San Juan Bautista, Puerto Rico, but then they couldn't. No, we're going to call this Puerto Rico. That was not even the name. The name was Boricua. And they changed even the names of the places where we came from.
Yeah, you're right. Dominican,
they-
like that, the whole land of Dominican Republic, the Taínos called it Haiti, and when the settlers came, they changed it to Hispaniola. So yeah, you're right. You're right. They changed the
Hispaniola.
yeah, they changed the name
Hispaniola.
they changed the name of our places. Then they give us their language. Then they give us their traditions and cultures and stuff like that. They force it upon us. You're right.
Hispaniola comes from ultimately the Latin word Hispanicus is where this comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in 1970, under the Richard Nixon administration, for the purposes of the Census Bureau, they call it Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2000s,
They did it on
Latino.
purpose. They did it. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. You know that, bro. They did it on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
You know why?
And
You know why?
and-
I'm gonna tell you why right now. They did it on purpose, because if you break down the word Hispanic, first of all, not the word, but just the definition itself, Hispanic, right? It has roots connecting it to Spain, right? So before the census even became a thing, before the census was even a thing, that connection with Latin people, right? To classify themselves, we were classified as white because they wanted to classify us as white. You know what I'm saying? Now they're telling us, okay, now we got this nice little word called Hispanic, which is still connected to whiteness. We still didn't get out of that. You know what I'm saying? We still didn't get out of that. And there's some lost Latin people out here still getting and carrying that term Hispanic, which should be very disrespectful to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. It should be very disrespectful to anybody even still considering themselves that. But nevertheless, right? So they call themselves Hispanic this whole time and all that, right? And then the whole term Latino came in or whatever the case is. But let's break down just the word Hispanic on its own. When they came up with that, they did it for a reason. They did it for a reason, right? They had a little census meeting or whatever the case is. They did it for a reason. Now let's break down the word Hispanic. His panic. Who is panicking? Who's the panic of it?
Yes.
Who's the panic? Who's the panic? Who's the panic for? And let's keep it real. His. Who is his? The white man. White boys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hispanic.
Those
It's
are
a
the people
possession.
panicking when we come around. It's not a coincidence whenever 4 or 5 or 6 Latin folks come into an area, move in, white flight starts occurring. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence when we start coming into a place, then they start feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because to white folks, they say we are not far off from black folks. Let's keep it real. To white folks, they see us as niggas 2.0, niggas that could swim, basically. Some fancy ones that, okay, they're Negroes, but they're not those Negroes. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly how they see us and where we are. Some of us, we're still blind to that fact. You feel me? We're still blind to that fact. But
Yeah.
continue, bro.
No, I'm glad you said that because my brother and I, we started saying, like, who we panicking? Hispanic, you know. Even the term Latin America that came about in the 1830s, it came about due to France no longer um, wanting to deal with Spain, Portugal, and likewise Latin America no longer wanting to. So France invited those in power, the people of academia, people of government, to join basically the Latin Europeans,
Yeah.
right? And it's important to note this because the real Latinos are the Italians, are the French, are the Spanish, are the Portuguese, are the Greeks, because they're speaking their native, they're speaking a Latin dialect. Hence, then we get this term Latin, Latino, because only of a language and some cultural things that they imposed upon us. So now the question I raise is, for example, even a Haitian technically, according to them, would be defined as a Latino because they're speaking French. They speak Creole.
Yeah.
They speak a Latin language. Now, you have in West Africa countries that were colonized by the English, by the French, like Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Cameroon by the French, places like Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia by the English. Now, I have seen personally a West African person say that they are a Frenchman.
What?
Because of the indoctrination, because of the self-hatred.
Listen, that's nothing. There's Latin people. There's Latin people on YouTube right now calling themselves Spanish. So, I know. I know.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You'll meet people that just they want to give credence to Spain.
The wildest thing. It's so wild to me because, Black Americans were constantly reminded their position, right? Black Americans were constantly reminded their position. We were not. We were always the ones that were buffered or skated under the table. You know what I'm saying? We were reminded our position, but in an individual sense, never as a collective group. So, Black Americans, they know their for the most part, majority of Black Americans know their positions. Guess what, bro? Majority of Latin folks and Africans and stuff, for the most part, we don't know our positions. You know what I'm saying? Because we're never reminded constantly like Black Americans were. Historically, we weren't really reminded that we're still seen as non-citizens. We're still seen as low in the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? Individually, we're reminded, but collectively, we're not. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a Black American talking about, yo, I'm British. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, yo, I'm from England.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's wild, bro. It's wild. But continue. My fault.
Yeah. But you will see not just only so-called African Americans, but even so-called Latinos saying they're American. How are you an American? How are you Italian?
Yeah.
You're naming that Americo Vespucci. He was a map maker and a navigator. And the white man said, we're going to name this the Americas, North America, Central America, South America. We're going to name it after this man. You know. Now, some people may think that this is trivial, and I've heard this. Some people have said to me that they're fine with these terms, and they say to me, then what do we call ourselves? That's not me. That's not for me to decide. I'm not here to tell everybody this is what you call yourselves. I think what needs to happen is that the so-called African Americans and the so-called Latinos need to come and decide what to call themselves, not what somebody else dictates to us.
Yeah, that's true. This is something I've been saying this whole time. We need to make our own race.
Let me ask you this. Did you get a memo in the mail? Did you get an email saying I'm a Latinx?
Hell no.
That is the most oxymoron thing to say non-gender. How can it be non-gender? When you say if you say Latino, Latina, the suffix, the A and the O make it masculine and feminine.
Exactly.
Even if you said, okay, I'm a Latinx. All right, so now you're saying that you are a Roman. After the language, which comes from Rome, which comes from Italy. Okay, so all right. But you're still speaking a language that has masculine and feminine in it. If you say Luna, Luna is a feminine word.
Yeah.
That's just one example.
Yeah.
Even it's common in languages, even Semitic languages. It's common for there to be masculine and feminine in the language.
Yeah.
It's just a common thing in this
and
country.
the thing is,
if
they don't even want to do the whole gender thing, they could just say Latin. They could just leave it the way it is, Latin. That's it. You feel me?
The Latin. X unknown. It's like what? It's just it's too much. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
No, yes.
Oh.
Go ahead.
The other thing I was going to say is like, okay, when it comes to, this is my position, okay? So this isn't something I'm trying to push on people. My position is that race, according to science, there's only one race. That's the human race.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have ethnicities and we have nationalities.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. Because if we start saying, okay, we're this race and you're that race, that's still going to cause a division. And that's ultimately the goal should be that we all recognize each other as human beings. These are just labels that were put on us. You know, our ancestors went according to what was their nation, what was their tribe. Black, white, yellow, red. These are constructs as well, but they are colloquial terms. Like I'll use the term for conversation so people understand. But in all reality, there is no white person. When you look at the color white, none of them fit that description, you know. And that was a term that they began to call themselves. They didn't call themselves that at one point in history. This is something they developed, you know. And this is something that when you for example, when you look at these terms that we're discussing, if you sat and talked to someone in the 70s and 80s, like I've talked to my father-in-law. He was born in Havana. I said, when you were younger, did you call yourself Latino, Hispanic, Latinx, Latin American, Latin, Afro-Latino? He said, no. What did you call yourselves? Negro, Blanco, Mulatto.
Yeah.
Right? Terminologies that was created by the Iberians, the Spanish and the Portuguese, via the Lacasse system, which they created a social construct of 16 classifications of races to divide it for the purpose of economics, because each class held a position on the pyramid that was of more value. And when you look at the bottom, black is always at the bottom.
Yep.
Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad said, everywhere I've been on this planet, whether it was a democratic country, a socialist country, a communist country, a Christian country, a Muslim country, a Hindu country, a Buddhist country, whatever it is, black people are always at the bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
So this term negro comes from the Latin word necro. But this Spanish, Portuguese word negro is where the word negro comes from, because the English began to adopt certain things. They then began to use this terminology of mulatto. What's a mulatto? Mulatto means a donkey a horse. It means one's parents who's European, the other one's African. But this term mulatto comes from the Arabic word muliwa. Why? Because when the Moors took over Southern Europe, when they civilized it, they brought certain cultural Arab customs with them. And this is an Arab custom, and muliwad means one parent who's white, one who's black. A boy who is an orphan, one who is Arab but not Arab by blood. A mule, a donkey. It was always a derogatory thing.
Yeah.
And this is still a terminology that's used within Spanish language. This is a term that I've seen in the black community where they say mulatto. And I say to myself, to the black Americans, I love y'all. But for those of y'all that use this word, and I would think you know better not to use that word, you talk about you don't love your oppressor, but yet you use terminology created by the oppressor to divide, conquer, and control us. And to those that use it, this is a word that should be omitted, obliviated, taken from the Spanish language. It's a derogatory word, mulatto. And then you have like a quadroon, an octoroon. A quadroon depicts a individual whose parent is white and the other parent who is mulatto, and then the child that comes out would be a quadroon or an octoroon.
all these terms are just seeped into white supremacy. All these terms,
Yes,
mestizo, mestizo
yes,
this and
mestizo's
that,
another one.
yeah, all of these.
All for the and it even gets so deep that in the Lacoste system they have zoological names after animals like lobos.
Wow.
For example, or pig. Like for example, in this country when they have degraded the black man and the black woman and said, "Oh, Sambo," when they used to make the movies with the real dark-skinned person with the big red lips, right?
Yeah.
Or the images they would put on their products. That word Sambo comes from the monkey of South America called a Zambo with a Z. Again, everything keeps tracing back with layer after layer after layer after layer after layer of how we've been indoctrinated. I'm sure you heard the expression that they say, that most Spanish people had the saying that the black grandmother in the closet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? So you have individuals out here that could pass for white, but they're not really white, whether they're Boricua, whether they're Cubano, whether they're whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the family, it's a fucking rainbow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yo, bro, my grandma, purple black, bro. Wow, black. You know what I'm saying? So
and this is what we've been fed. We've been fed to believe that black is inferior and white is superior.
Yeah.
We've been fed. What was the first thing they taught us? God is white.
Yeah.
If God is white and we're heathens, therefore we are inferior and white is superior. We still have people to this day, fine. If you want to practice Catholicism, if you want to practice Christianity, that is your personal business. But if you're going to practice the religion, then at least have the decency to respectfully have people placed in their proper image. Like, how would you like if 2,000 years from now they say, the radical Latino, his name was Timothy, and he had one leg, and he had leprosy. That's not what the hell you look like.
Yeah.
So now think about this image of Jesus. That's not even, and it's not even his name. There's no J's or V's in the Hebrew language.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So we could go, it's so many different things that we've just been indoctrinated with and we believe in and we've been conditioned, and all it's doing is harming us and dividing us and controlling us.
Fam, the reason how I started this whole thing, the way I even got to the point of me thinking like that was the first thing that my mom even told me, yo, do you know Jesus is black? I said, what? That's how I started this whole rabbit hole, bro. That's how this whole thing started, bro. That's how this my mentality started. That's how everything started, bro. With one conversation with my mom, she just came out of nowhere with the Bible. She was like, "Yo, you know Jesus is black?" Yo, stop, mom. Yo, stop. You're bugging. Yo, you bugging. You probably you drinking too much wine, mom. You know, stop. Nah, she was like, look. She showed me the verse. Woolly hair, bronze skin. Wait, what? Nah, hold up.
Yeah.
We got a compute. You know, we had a computer. What was it? 2 weeks. New computer. 2 weeks in the crib, right? I said, nah, hold up. Start doing my research. Start doing my research. The backer I went in history, the blacker Jesus got. I said, wait a minute. Hold up. That's when I started to realize. I said, wait a minute. Everything I was told was a goddamn lie. Everything in Christianity, you know, because I was raised Christian. You know, I was raised, you know, Pentecostal, right? I was raised Christian and all that. Everything I was taught. Wait a minute. This religion was taken from this one? Wait a minute. That was taken from this one? Wait a minute. That was taken. It went back all the way to Egypt. Wait a minute. This is coming from the Book of the Dead? You know what I'm saying? The virgin birth, the disciples, you know, the miracles, the death 3 days, a resurrection. You know what I'm saying? To go all the way back to find out the whole thing is astrological, bro. To find the whole thing is astrological. It's wild, bro. It's wild. I'm like, yo, are you serious? Dude, it was such an awakening for me. I was like, nah, hold up. I gotta find out more. That's when I started finding out more and more and more and more and more and more. And I hooked up with some 5%ers and some Hebrew Israelites and all that. And I started learning. You know, some of the stuff, it was a little wild. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff I was a little wild. Talking about
You take the good part.
Yeah. Talk about white folks. You know, grew up with they're born. They're actually dogs. They were born with fur and all that. I'm like, okay, that's all right. Relax. Talking about they got fruit fly DNA. All right, chill out. Let's chill out for a second. You know what I'm saying? But the other stuff, I was like, oh, okay, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I took that and I was like, all right. That's when I started to like really learn. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It started with me. It started with Christianity. You know what I'm saying? That's how it started. That whole whiteness went away. You know what I mean? That whole whiteness went away. And I was like, yo.
Yeah. There's an interesting degree in what they call or the 120 lessons of the supreme wisdom, but they both call it the student enrollment. So the third question is, what is the total population of the original nation here in the wilderness of North America and all over the planet Earth? And the answer is the total population here in the wilderness of North America is 17 million, plus the 2 million Indians, making a total of 19 million. And all over the planet Earth is 4,400,000,000.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure the numbers have changed. But the emphasis is this, is that we are original people. You know, the so-called Native American, the African. And, you know, in all reality, I don't know how the viewers may feel about this. The Lacan system was like a social science experiment. And you think about it, we are a mixture. Some of us may have Asian in us.
Yeah.
Some of us may have Arab in us. Some of us may have Jewish in us. We are a conglomeration of so many things. And it was done for the purposes of economics. This all goes back as the foundation of economics, because this is predatory capitalism. And we live in a capitalistic world. This is why political education is important. This is why we had the Black Panther Party, the BLA, the Young Lords, AIM, the new Black Panther Party, because of the importance of political education. If we're going to live in a society, then we have to understand the society and what it's governed under and by. What is the political system? And this is important to understand, and it goes hand in hand with having proper history. Not a pseudo history, not a history of you got imbeciles talking about that they're aboriginals. Not a history of people claiming to be all these different things, because we've lost the knowledge of ourselves. This is why you have people saying, I'm a Moor, I'm an Israelite, I'm an Abo, I'm this. Because you've lost the knowledge of who you are. And you're wanting to be everything but what you are. You're ashamed to be black. You're ashamed of the African blood that's in you. You're ashamed of it.
Yeah. Bro, this is the reason why I say, bro, look, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, small videos about me or pictures or whatever. I'm brown, bro. I'm brown. You know what I'm saying? I don't get this.
I'm light, bright, high yellow.
Yeah, yeah,
with a black father and a mixed mother.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, I don't get like this for the way you get like this, or like me, or like you know, like me or like you gotta mix black and white. You know what I'm saying? You gotta mix that and you get different types of color. The thing is, the black gene is always dominant. You know what I'm saying? The black gene is always dominant. So obviously I got Spanish blood in me, but it's not dominant. Guess what's dominant? Guess what's giving me my color? The black side. You feel what I'm saying? And that speaks a lot. A lot of people who's brown like me be calling themselves white and shit. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And this is the thing that irritates the black community.
Listen, they be like, some of these women be straightening their hair, you know what I'm saying, putting blonde wigs on and all that. You know what I mean? Like green contacts. Like, come on, you're like, you ashamed, man? Like, chill.
This is an argument that the black community poses towards the Latino community, which is a valid argument. Is you have many Latinos who pick and choose when they want to be black.
Yeah, you're right.
If, they're like, I got black in me, or I got a black. But are you comfortable with admitting that you are black 365, 7 days? Do you have an issue with admitting that blackness that's in you?
Exactly.
And many are not. It's only when it's convenient. And again, that goes back to not having a knowledge of self. Yeah. That goes back to having self-hatred. And Malcolm, in one of his infamous speeches, he said, who taught you to hate the color of your skin, the shape of your nose, the shape of your lips, your hair? Now, even though he was talking to the African Americans, that also applies for us. Yeah. Even though Dr. Khalid said, have you forgotten that once we were brought here? Notice, once we were brought here, he's talking about the Africans being displaced. Yeah. Even though that was towards them, it still applies for us because it goes on within our community, within our houses. We're not speaking our language. I've had, like, my Spanish sucks. And I've had people tell me, oh, you're not a real Cuban. Your Spanish is this, your Spanish. Okay.
Oh, wait, for the people.
Do you speak any language of the original people? You're speaking a slave dialect. Now, it's good. Like, I would like to learn Spanish. Don't get me wrong. But you upholding this language like it's holier than thou.
Exactly.
Exactly. What about your original tongue?
No, exactly. No, this is the thing. For the people that's listening, I just wanna ask, what's your ethnicity? You're Cuban, right? And what else?
Both my father was from Santiago, my mother was from Camagüey.
Okay, gotcha. Just for the people to know, and that's why you go by the name Cuban Crisis, correct?
Yeah, I'm Cuban and I'm living in a world of crisis, Cuban
Got it.
crisis,
Got
and then it's also a play on of the Cuban crisis, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, I want to just add on to what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. You're absolutely right. It a lot of us think that because we want to, you know, oh, we got to prove how Latin you are. We got to prove how whatever you are, you got to speak the slave language. Can you speak it? Can you speak it? Nah, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. That's not something that we should even be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that we should even be thinking about. That's not even something that we should be trying to prove. The thing is, there's a lot of criterias of what Latin is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of criteria of what Latin is, and nobody's the emperor of anything. Nobody's the emperor of being black. Nobody's the emperor of being Latino, Latina. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's the emperor of anything.
Yep.
So all of this is
Yep.
it's just mind games. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But continue. My
Absolutely.
fault. My fault.
No, the thing I want to address is now when people say all of this is bullshit, it's a fantasy. There's never been a unity. There can't be a unity. My reply to them is that when the Africans came to the New World, there were Africans and indigenous people that, of course, they mixed in because they were forced to mix in. There was also those who mixed in on their free will. But there was a bond and there was a unity between them. Now, you have some people out here in the black community that take issue with so-called Native Americans, right? And yes, there were so-called Native Americans that dealt in slavery. There was also black people here that dealt in slavery,
Yeah.
right? Now, some people say, "Oh, that's a deflection." It's not a deflection. That's just a historical fact that we have to look at. But you have to ask yourself, why did black people deal with slavery, and why did Native Americans deal with slavery? Economics. Not only economics, but they were being indoctrinated by the capitalists to do this. It's not anything far-fetched. I mean, anytime you have a culture that is colonized, imperialized, oppressed, enslaved, they're going to adopt those manners. When James Monroe was president of this country, he sent black people from this country back to Africa, and they founded the country called Liberia.
Yeah.
Liberia comes from the word liberty. The capital of Liberia is Monrovia, named after James Monroe. When those Africans went back to Africa, what do you think they did? They mistreated the Africans that were there as they were mistreated here. Then you got some people who say, well, if the Africans are our people, how come they didn't come and save us from slavery? Because they were being colonized and enslaved in Africa as well as the Africans that were taken here. Not only that, but you think the Africans had maps and shit of where they didn't know where people were going. The Africans didn't even know where they were going. All the Africans first went through Cuba, and then they were displaced to different places. You might have been in Cuba, uprooted and taken to Virginia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Venezuela, Belize, Puerto Rico, all these different places. Meanwhile, we're not looking at the fact that how the fuck we know we're not related in some shape, form, or fashion because we've been separated. We could be like eighth cousins. You know, who knows? But there was a unity. There was so-called Native Americans here who embraced the Africans into the tribes. To say there was never a unity, you have the young lords who basically, after they left the street mentality, they became a revolutionary organization.
Yeah.
In Chicago. And then from there, Felipe Luciano, others, they went there and they brought it back to New York. And it spread to places in Jersey and PA and Connecticut and all these different places. there was a unity. Now, some will say, oh, that's the 70s. That's the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the 70s and 60s. That doesn't mean that it can't happen again. See, people, the problem is that they think you're trying to recreate the wheel. It's not about recreating the wheel. It's about refining the wheel.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
So the thing is when we look at COINTELPRO, that's why that fell. It didn't fall because it was bullshit. It fell because COINTELPRO was powerful. It fell because nobody knew what the fuck COINTELPRO was at that time.
Yeah.
It fell because we have some of us in our ranks that are weak, that will give in to the government and sell our own people out. That's been throughout history with brown and black people. There was always sellouts. Let's also not forget about Mexico and the lands, what present day are states here in this country that was all Mexico, right? But why did the war occur in the Alamo between Mexico and the United States? Mexico was opposed to slavery. And that was the only reason the United States took them states, was for the purposes of slavery, for the purposes of economics. You got more land, you got more people, you can produce more things, more money in my pocket. So there's so many different things that when you look at it, it's been sabotaged. But just because it's been sabotaged doesn't mean that you give up.
Yeah, that's
now,
true.
if you're going to give up, then just say, I give up. But if you're not going to give up, then don't give up, and we got to keep pushing the envelope for black and brown or red. This has to be pushed.
Yeah, that's true, because we got more power in numbers. We got way more power in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen.
And
go ahead.
And on top of that, we say that we love our ancestors, right? So ancestors doesn't necessarily mean your biological ancestors, but those who've died, the ancestor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned if I look at people like a Fred Hampton, when I look at somebody, Jamil Alameen, who's incarcerated, Mumia Abu-Jamal, that's incarcerated, Malcolm, Dr. Khalid, Che Guevara. I look at all these different people who either died, were murdered, assassinated, incarcerated, got strung out on drugs. You know, let's keep it funky. There was people in the Black Power movement, black and brown people, that got strung out on coke and crack eventually.
Yeah.
Because of COINTELPRO, right?
Yeah.
Now, you know, we can't disrespect them, because that's what happened, and a lot of them fixed their lives and changed their lives, right?
Yeah.
But all that stuff that they went through, I'll be damned if I let that fall by the wayside.
Facts.
Because I look at it like this: we're here for a reason on this planet, and I really believe my purpose on this planet is to contribute in some shape, form, or fashion to the freedom and liberation of our people, because it's either freedom or death. That's
Facts.
it.
I like that. Facts. I like that. Bro, listen, we're going to wrap it up now. Thank you very much for coming in and speaking your piece and giving us some wisdom. Leave the people a little bit with some affirmations, and also tell the people where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook, Cuban Crisis. You can find me on Instagram, enter_the_crisis, and you can find me on YouTube of Enter the Crisis. If I have any last words, it would be I'd have to say, well, I don't even know where to begin on that. I would just have to say is that we have to care about all forms of oppression.
Yeah.
There was a saying. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unions, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And this is quoted by Martin Niemöller, 1892 to 1984. He was a European man. And I say that to say is that we have to care about all forms of oppression. And what's going on right now, for example, in Palestine. You have many people who say, I don't care about them Arabs. You know, why should I care about them? There's a connection. The Zionists that is oppressing the Palestinians are the same Zionist pigs that train the police force in this country to deal with black and brown people. So the oppression is coming towards the original people. And we have to, you know, and when we look at history, Campos did what? Campos helped the Irish from oppression. Oppression is oppression. And this is what this boils down. This is what it boils down to: is oppression. Oppression is wrong. We have to fight oppression.
Yeah, facts. Thank you very much, bro. And I totally appreciate it. Remember, all his ways to find them will be linked down below, so definitely go check him out. Definitely have his IG and YouTube page linked. This brother does amazing work. Funny thing is, I was seeing some of his content and I didn't even know he knew about me. You know what I'm saying? That was a funny thing. But listen, Cuban Crisis, thank you so much for coming in and blessing us with your wisdom.
No, man, thank you for having me on this platform, and thank you for having this platform. It's needed, and I'm so happy you exist.
Yeah,
like,
I do it for our people, bro. I do it for our people, bro.
Yes.
You know
and I would love, you ever want me to come back, I'll come back. And when I get my platform running again, I'm definitely gonna have you on.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. We definitely gotta do that, bro. We definitely gotta do that.
Yeah. You know what? Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead,
sorry,
bro. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. Since 2008, I've been wanting to have, out of commemoration for the Black Power Conference that took place in the 60s in Newark, New Jersey. I've been wanting to have a Black and Brown Power Conference. And this is a goal that I've been trying to work on. And it really, the big problem is it involves money. Renting the place.
Of course.
Paying the speakers, stuff like that. I'm just putting that out there in case there's anybody who has any connections to any facilities where we could start getting this going. And
since we're starting opening up, of course, I think this is much needed.
Yeah, and I don't want this to be a thing of you attend and you have people speak and it makes you feel good. And then we go home and we have the minds of goldfish where we forgot what just happened 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I want it to be that application is going to come from this. That's the motivation. It's hearing the words, being educated, and now you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, and the understanding, and the understanding produces. Is supposed to produce application. This is what we need: application and persistency. So I'm putting this out there. If there's anybody who has these connects that would like to connect with me, and we can get this rolling. This is like diet. Like this is the time to seize the time. There's too many signs going on right now in society of oppression, injustice, and it's been going on. And let's now do something about it on some really serious type shit.
Listen. I could be a speaker in that too. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. I'll see if I could try to get somebody from behind the scenes and a promoter and stuff and try to promote it. Because I do like that idea. You know what I mean? I got invited to some colleges and stuff to do virtual speaking. You know what I'm saying? That's as much as I did. I never went to a conference and actually spoke to a group of people, but that's actually something that I think we should be looking at. That's something that I think is much needed, and I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I'm saying? I'm really glad you brought that up. But definitely let's see what we can do behind the scenes. With that being said, bro, I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.
Peace.
All right, now that was the interview with my homie, my brother, Cuban Crisis. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. I hope you guys actually learned a couple of things, because my man was dropping jewels, big. Homie was dropping jewels. So shout out to him. Definitely appreciate it. If you guys want to follow Cuban Crisis, YouTube link down below, Instagram link down below. I believe his YouTube is Enter the Crisis. His Instagram is that as well. But all of those links will be down below. For the podcast, it will be in the details section of the podcast. Trust me, go follow him. The brother is knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. And you will not be disappointed with the game he spits. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go give him a follow. He definitely deserves it. I mean, now. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, if you guys want to hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at the same name, radical_Latino_. And also, look out for that merch. The merch is going to drop. You know what I'm saying? So definitely look out for that. Now I'm going to leave you guys, how I always do, with two of my favorite quotes. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And if Black and Latin unity does not happen in my lifetime, I might not change the world, but I might inspire the mind that will. Shout out to you guys. With that being said, I'ma catch y'all later. Peace.